Okay. EU is also fine. Go host. Alright. Cell says, I'll beat your ass on Europe. Big words from Cell. I don't know where Cell got the confidence from. I highly doubt this from his ladder performance, but okay, if Cell's confident that he wants to play in Europe, we're gonna go ahead and play in Europe. Do you work or is streaming your full-time job? Streaming is definitely my full-time job. Game 1 is going to be played on Grass1. Yeah, I'm not making it up, guys. I said, like, let's switch servers, and Cell is just like, I'll beat your ass on Europe. So, spicy first match of the night. Obviously, two guys that I'm very fond of. Two guys that I've known for a long time. For the people who are not that familiar with TKL, he's one of the French commentators. Used to be with O Gaming, and then obviously is now part of Comeback TV, where they cover a lot of the games of basically any big tournament in French. And they still have a big following. I think these guys are awesome. Coca, Thonka, but of course TKL as well. They are ready. I'll grab my coffee, and then I'm ready. Bam, bam, bam. First day back after 3 days on the road. And we have big brain bouts immediately. Destiny, guys. In the month of September. Caster ready. Always ready when he's in game. Good luck, lads. I believe Cell has made 2 appearances in the big brain bouts. I know he lost his first one, I think, to Blood Milan. But he did win the second one, which was quite a while ago. TKL has actually never played. And he DM'd me and he said, hey, Roddy, I think my big brain bouts invite got lost somewhere. I was like, that is true. I did say that you could play, but I didn't know if you were that down or not. But apparently the man was very down. I said, let's do it on Friday. I was like, what about Cell? He said, sure, that's fine. I was like, let's do it then. So here we go, guys. Friday night video gaming brought to you by BASILISK. We're going to give away $500. First match is for 75 buckies. The winner gets 60. The loser gets 15. Honestly, I have no idea who's the favorite between these two. Let's just go ahead and hop on into it.
Let's get it on.
I know there is ladder history, yes.
Round 1. Fight.
In the bottom right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who said, give me PvZ or PvT, because if I have to play PvP, you're only going to see one build every single game. I was like, yeah, that does sound pretty dreadful. So, let's PvT it is. This is the French Passion Lord with a beautiful beard, Le TKL. Still representing Altar. I believe Altar is a bit of a community team, kind of like the way the Team Roddy is a community team. And in the top left side, for the 3rd time on the Friday night. The first one didn't really go all that well, but in the second one, he looked good. I actually remember he was the underdog going into our second series, but he played one hell of a best of 5. Can he do it again? Our Canadian pal, it's Cell. I know that Cell has been tryharding on the ladder. I see stream titles where it's like 5k, solid, consistent, yada yada. He's always putting in the hours. Obviously, Cell does some other stuff as well as a streamer. He plays some of the... I was like, what the hell is on my right? It's this? This looks so weird in my OBS. Cell obviously does some... How do you call this? Co-op and makes other types of content. Does a little bit of everything, but I know that he cares. He's a Passion Lord. And I believe he's in alrighty shape. 5k in the title, but every day always 4.7. That's better than saying that you're 5.5 though, but then only playing at 4.9k accounts, right? Aim for the stars. I have no issue with that. So opening up double refinery. With a factory inside of his main, TKL definitely a little bit paranoid after scouting this setup. So it seems that perhaps Cell is really coming in with a game plan here. And he's not just playing this first game, he's gonna play the entire series. Ooh, that's annoying for TKL. Because now he still has absolutely no idea what's happening. We know that it's not all that scary. It could turn into something scary, but right now it's not that scary. Everything is at home and even the CC is going up in the main. So TKL would absolutely benefit from just chrono boosting out probes and not worrying too much, but that's easier said than done. When you're playing a professional match, the last thing you want is obviously die game 1 against proxy 3 regs or 4 regs or a random 1 base all in. So it's not that easy to just be like, oh, I think I'm fine. Let's go ahead and chrono boost the Nexus and get as many probes out as possible. Hello, Ravi. Yeah, no, I always watch a little bit of Cell. I don't watch it for as many hours as he streams, but if I wake up in the morning and I have some time to spend on Twitch, if I see Cell live, I will definitely watch a bit of Cell. Or in the evening if I get ready for a stream, but I'm not quite ready to go yet. Watching 1 or 2 games. It's always enjoyable. You write a couple mean things in the chat. This is a gnarly supply block, by the way, guys. Oh my goodness. What was that? What was that? What happened? Did he misplace his Nexus? And he cancelled it? What? Or he cancelled it accidentally on probes. Oh my goodness. Because he was supply blocked. He tried to cancel a probe. But maybe a probe just finished up. And oh, what? Big brain bouts. This is how we're going to start off the Friday night. I'm not ready. It's every Protoss worst fear when you have a couple probes queued up and you hit escape, cancel. And then sometimes there is no probe building anymore. Oh. What an absolutely disastrous start. Supply blocked at 30 out of 31 and cancelling the Nexus. Let them cook. I don't want to curse too much, but I have to go full Gordon Ramsay on this opening. It's fucking raw! That's the only thing I can say, but at least the Oracle is getting 2 SCVs, so that's going to make TKL feel a little bit better about his start. There is a Cyclone in the main base that gets the lock on, and just when TKL could feel a little bit better, he's now going to feel a little bit worse. The disaster. There is a Widowmine drop as well. 2 Widowmines inside of that medevac at the bottom side of the map. TKL has all of his units in the natural. And this is about as bad as you could ever start a best of 5 as one could possibly imagine. Phoenix is going to barely miss it too. Will TKL pay attention and pull probes away? Yes, at least he's doing that. I want to say I think it's fine, yeah. Sure, there's lost mining time, but he only lost 2 probes there, so that part is good. Has a Phoenix. That looks like a slow warp in. That would also make me... That would trigger me. What a start, guys. What a start to our first out of 4 matches here. Big Brain Bouts in number 40. The thing about Cell, though, is that I also feel it doesn't really matter how good his start is. You know that Cell can get a little tunnel vision, and eventually it can all go wrong. That was a close call, by the way, in that pickup. That Widowmine was 0.1 second away from being able to once more hide. He could actually burrow again. Bit of a clown fiesta here, guys. I expect our next PvT to look a little different between Cuckoo and Hydra. Which is one that I'm actually very excited for as well. Because I have no idea who's going to get the best of who there. Cuckoo was very eager, kept on spamming. He said, old man, it's time. I haven't played in forever. Make me the main event. I'm like, Cuckoo, if you can't beat the old man on the ladder, you're definitely not going to be the main event. This is not how it works, but... Does Hydra play? I thought he's rusty. Of course he's playing, mate. He's part of Team Roddy. He better be playing, otherwise I'm wasting my money. No, he's playing, mate. A lot of the guys that sometimes maybe take tiny breaks are not taking any breaks right now because the DreamHack qualifiers are coming up. We are 2 or 3 weeks away from the DreamHack qualifiers where everybody has another shot at making it into the top 32 of Europe or the top 16 of NA. Actually, no, NA is the same right now, right? Because they combined the regions, so I guess that's... Is that 32 or 16? It feels like 16 would be a bit small if they combine all the regions. Cuckoo vs. Roddy main event. The series are supposed to be close. Another lock-on, by the way. Cell Cyclone is on a bit of a rampage. Unfortunately, did lose high ground vision there. And then drives into the stasis trap immediately. But that's alright. It's better to walk into it now with your Cyclone than walk into it later with your entire army when you're ready to push. Cell obviously has added barracks number 4 and 5. And if you go 5 Rexes on 2 base, guys, I wouldn't necessarily say this has to be an all-in, but this is very committed. And most of the time you'll see Terran stay on 2 bases for quite some time. Push, battle, trade. Basically try to win the game. And the only way that they ever really transition is if they've already done a lot of damage, but they cannot quite end it. Then they're still willing to drop a 3rd CC. I mean, TKL has done already, I would say, in the last 2 minutes. No more massive errors. The only real error was losing that Oracle. But, you know, as rough as the start was, I do think that he took care of that Widowmine drop pretty well. A little bit of lost mining time. Only lost 2 probes against 2 mines that fired. Like, that was perhaps as good as it will ever get if you're out of position. Storm is on the way already for TKL. So, setting up the tanks. He's going to get a couple of big shots off. TKL trying to kite against a man that has 4 tank siege up on the high ground. Right now, TKL's army is really bad, guys. But he does have a lot of gateways. He's got a decent economy. Maybe he can land a Storm as he loses the second Oracle too. The Stasis Trap got revealed. Serral is just on point. So far, guys, Serral is on point. And unless he eats the biggest storms in history, I feel like he should be fine here. Second starport is a bit odd to me. That's a very early second starport against the High Templar opening of all things. Anti-armor missile will go down. Tanks are maybe not necessarily the best thing ever against Zealots and Stalkers, but if you can siege them up in these numbers and you can keep High Templars at bay, it's going to be fine. Where are these High Templars? They're coming in from the right. We're going to need some very big storms. The first one is alrighty. The Phoenix obviously cannot really do a whole lot by itself. I think UpATree's army is just a little bit too big. That is not a sexy, juicy storm, though. And maybe that is the storm that could allow TKL to stabilize. If he can just spend his money right now, guys. Warp in a few more Zealots. Get on top of the tanks. Only had a couple Zealots coming in from like the bottom left or the top right. Those 3 tanks are really packing a punch. And the Stalkers are always standing right next to each other. Which means that there's a lot of splash damage. But hey, look at these 2 Zealots. 1 Zealot, guys. Will Serral ever save his tank? Serral does not believe in saving that tank. And it's actually going to turn into a hold by the looks of it, even though reinforcements have arrived. But at this point, I feel like I'm looking at more medevacs than I'm looking at battle units. Getting an Archon here wouldn't be a bad call. You can obviously lend the feedback on the Raven, but I'd say just go for an Archon, mate. Oh, TK, you have so much money. I actually really don't think he had to die there, but now it seems like he's still going to die. He thought it was over by the looks of it, but Serral was going to try one more time with these 10 leftover Marauders. That 1 tank. And TKL was still floating like 800 minerals, loses a few more key units. And in the end, it will still be Serral, who does have a 3rd command center by this time. TKL was very close to stabilizing there, and then maybe with +2 on the way and already having Storm, it wouldn't have been all that bad. But it almost felt that he thought it was over. And Serral was like, let's just try one more time. Still got the Raven. Obviously now died, but early he still had it. Like if these Archons were ready early and he absolutely had the money for it, or he just swap in a few more Zealots, it could have all been alright. But game 1 belongs to our pal Serral, who played good, right? I know a lot of people in the chat like to friendly bully Serral. Well, honestly, I think he played a pretty alright game. Can't really say many things where I feel like he really had a Serral moment, or he should have done X, Y, or Z. It just all looked kind of clean. And also nice to see Serral play a bit more aggressive. I feel like in the past, he's been a man of extremes, where it's like, either it's all out, one base all in, or a weird proxy, or it's I'm just gonna macro forever, and then he just gives the entire map to the Protoss. This was obviously an aggressive build, 5 racks of 2 bases, but still something that there is a lot of ways to maneuver your way out of certain positions, and yeah, I think he played good. It gives you a few more options. Even though you are somewhat committed on the 2-base stuff, you can still build a late 3rd command center. You can do an all-out frontal push. You can obviously go for some multi-prong because you have a lot of medevacs. The only thing that I thought was a tiny bit funny was the very quick 2nd star port, which makes sense if you play against a man who's idling with a couple of Colossus and you're worried about getting a move. But I wouldn't say that this was a moment that I think a 2nd star port was necessary, but doesn't matter. Serral looked good in game 2. Altitude. And this man will obviously hope for a much better first 5 minutes.
Round 2. Fight!
Big Brain Bouts, number 40. We've got 4 matches tonight. This is the first of the 4. The opening match for 75 buckies. A bit of a community special. In the bottom left side, first time ever. Then we get to watch him play. A 5,000 MMR Protoss and a French Passion Lord. Caster for Comeback TV, Le TKL. Uh-oh. In the top right side, we are looking at the main base of the man who has taken the 1-0 lead. And I remember him taking a 1-0 lead against Blood Milan in a pretty normal standard game, similar to that previous one. And then game 2, 3, and 4, he just did super weird, random, ultra aggro openings, and he lost all of them. It was one of the most confusing things I've seen. This is our Canadian Terran player taking the 1-0 lead, UpATree. TKL, his probe, is going to get into the main base very early. We'll see that the barracks is missing. will also scout that this is a double refinery opening. Now, if you guys wonder what is UpATree going to do, I don't really know. It could just be a factory at home, right? That he just wants to go for Proxy Reaper factory at home and take it from there. TKL seems very paranoid about potential Proxy Marauder. I don't really like what TKL does here. He lost a probe as well. He loses a probe in the main. Like, you cannot... I understand being worried about proxies, but this is just too much. He's got 3 probes right now scouting for proxies, guys. So, in a weird way, UpATree has done a crazy amount of damage with his opening, because TKL can't even properly saturate his mineral line. This is clearly an overreaction. I don't know, maybe he's hoping to find double barracks Marauder, but that's not what it is. He just completely destroys his own economy. It's very funny, because this is one of these moments where if TKL would not have scouted at all, guys, if he would have just gone for a blind 1 gate fast expand, he would A, be completely fine, and B, his economy would be 5 times better than what it actually is. Like, UpATree has created an income advantage without killing anything. Even though he got 1 probe in the main with his SCVs. Now it seems that TKL wants to go for some sort of a weird 1-base Stargate. I'm not feeling this one, mon ami. Like, you can simply not grab 3-4 workers in the early game and send them in 3-4 different directions just to figure out what you're playing against. It's too much. It is an insane amount of indirect damage. Like, now your Nexus is going to be so late. You're going to have like a 140, 145, 135 Nexus. Now it's a 3-minute Nexus. And because of what? A 1 barracks Proxy Reaper? TKL's kind of handing this one to Serral, guys. Obviously, Serral. Maybe he can do something derpy, but Serral's building a Cyclone. He's going to scout. He hasn't quite found the Stargate yet, but like, this Oracle has almost 0 potential. Unless Serral rallies his first Cyclone to the other side of the map. A minor disaster. I don't want to say this is going to turn into Le Massacre in favor of the Canadian, but it actually pains me. It pains me as a Protoss. No, UpATree got very close, but he did not see it. That doesn't really matter though, as long as the Cyclone is at home. Like, he's going to get the heads up. He can get a lock on. He can actually get the kill immediately. Come on, Serral. Move that Cyclone then. Serral busy eating pancakes with maple syrup by the looks of it. A little slow to react there. Does throw down the scan immediately, and then he will still just kill the Oracle. So, a little bit of lost mining time. Lost 3 SCVs. Oracle did slightly more than what it should have done, but I think Serral maybe had it here because he was worried about a 2-gate or a 3-gate opener and like random gateway units walking up his ramp. I think he was thinking about that stuff more than Proxy Stargate. What prompted the opening for TKL was very obvious though. Like, TKL scouted very early with his probe. He saw double refinery, and I think what he thought is this must be 2 racks Marauder. But it wasn't. But even if it is, I don't think you can ever justify sending out 3 probes after you already have 1 probe. That's 4 probes. If you have 16 probes and you send out 4, you have 25% of your economy not doing anything other than scouting for proxies. That's just way too much. And even if you know it's 2 Rex Marauder, what are you going to do then? The best thing you can ever do is stabilize on 1 base, and that is not even all that great. Hello, Holy Squid. Thank you for the 10 months. So, rough start for TKL, but he does have a 9-worker lead. Don't ask me how that is humanly possible, but he did kill 3 SCVs, I guess, and maybe Serral's expand was a little bit later. You love me passionately. Thank you, Pencil. Now that makes a man blush a little and smile. We have the medevac showing up in the main base. TKL is not paying attention. Serral with the correct target fire, guys. Oh my. He didn't just let that Widow Mine fire. He's like, no, I'll go for the center one. He gets 7 probes with a single Widow Mine. And we don't have a single Phoenix. He's going to build 1 Phoenix now. It's a rough best of 5 so far for the Frenchman. He's turning red. TKL is ready to shave off his beard, man. It's painful. I feel for him. We've all had these best of fives where it just kind of feels that nothing is really going your way. You have some misreads. You prepare for stuff that's not happening. You're not actually preparing for the few things that are happening. Now, altitude is a big map. So it doesn't mean that Serral can just go to the other side of the map immediately. Serral's going to YOLO boost this one in. And you know what? It's not even a bad choice, guys. Because the Phoenix was on its way. HeroMarine gets the double kill. So still one more probe than you're supposed to get there. I feel like the only thing that TKL could really do is he's got 4 gases, which I don't love 4 gas. If you don't have like a Robo with a Robo Bay or a Templar Archives, like what are you gonna do with 4 gas? So I was playing a somewhat slow and steady playstyle so far, but this is kind of working out. The few attempts he has to find damage, all find damage. He gets max value out of the few little investments he's made. And I'm looking for little victories for TKL, and I haven't found any. It's a rough best of 5. The Stalkers are going to run into the Terran army on the other side of the map. We are paying attention. We have Blink. He is going to drop the Templar Archives. There will be plenty of gas. Baby, that stasis trappy. Serral sees it. Serral could gun it down. Serral will gun it down. Stalkers, one of them got picked off. The other one made an awkward blink. We're gonna need a little. We're gonna need a bit of Protoss magic, guys. 11 work elite is obviously decent. How many gateways do we have? 5. That's not all that great. He is warping in 4 zealots at a time. Gun down those 2 marauders and blink back. What does he go for? The Raven. Okay. TKL, guys, snipes a Raven, and Serral did scan, and he should know there is a stasis trap, but I don't know if he really saw it. Serral, I don't think he saw it. What is TKL doing here? Jeez Louise, what are they both doing? TKL loses every single Stalker. Serral steps into the stasis trap that he scanned 2 seconds ago. Oracle is going to fly over the Terran army as we go for a good old F2A move. At least there are a couple of zealots that will get on top of the tanks. Let's get that final tank. What about a Guardian Shield, mate? Jeez Louise. Painful pickup on these tanks. Now we're going to drop a couple force fields to buy some time. Serral with the pickup and the unload. Pick it up again, Serral. No, we can't do that. This is StarCraft, guys. Guardian Shield, please. Battery overcharge Guardian Shield, mate, for the life of everything. Serral does a good job there, gunning on the battery immediately. TKL just needs a couple zealots, and I thought he had money for that. But maybe the gateways were on cooldown, and this Nexus is going to fall. Probes are falling. Oh. A rough best of 5 for the Frenchman. Yeah, he clicked on tanks with his zealots. Instead of just A-moving, since half of the army or even 75% of the army was in the stasis trap anyway, I think if you just A-move there with a Guardian Shield, you'll be alright. But I think he right-clicked on the tank. So the zealots were like, derping, trying to get on top of the tank. Am I stupid? Isn't Roddy in some random forest in Bulgaria? Roddy was in a random forest in Bulgaria yesterday. Going up and down the mountains, embracing the nature. I saw what they call God's eyes. God watched upon the skies of Roddy going through a cave. And he knew it was good. But now Roddy is back behind his computer where he belongs. That was enough nature for the upcoming 3 years. We've got a double drop. Heading into the main. We also have a big army. TKL, I think, is kind of dead here, guys. We do almost have Storm. That is nice, but this Terran army packs a punch. That double drop in the main base is going to be a problem as well. And our pal, Serral, guys, gets a kill on the Nexus. Apparently has not committed to that drop because there were a lot of Stalkers waiting for it, so that was the correct call. 2 base Protoss against 3 base Terran. The last time a 2 base Protoss won against a 3 base Terran, guys, we were still playing Brood War actually. And I believe a couple of Reavers killed everything. We missed it soon enough. The nature. Nah. I'll play some Padel. Outdoor Padel, that's all the nature I need. My Padel courts are surrounded by trees. There's a little ditch. Plenty of bugs. That qualifies for me. What do you think in general about the trip to Bulgaria? For me, I had a lot of fun, mate. It was a very short trip. It was a bit of an impromptu as we tried to get Victoria to get a US visa, but it seems like that is just not going to happen in time. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But besides that, 10 out of 10. I met up with a couple of the Bulgarian StarCraft 2 members. I got recognized in the park by one sweaty dude who was on a hike. He like walked by me and he looks and he's like, Rotterdam? What are you doing in Bulgaria? And I was like, hey mate. So that was really cool. That made me feel kind of awesome. I was like, this used to happen when I was young and beautiful, but in my 30s this never happens. So that was nice. And then I met up with 1 or 2 very old Warcraft 3 friends. One of them was actually kind of in politics. Awesome dude. First time I ever actually met him. We were on the same team in Warcraft 3 a long time ago. Played some 2v2s. So, it was a very fun trip. Oh, what a storm, guys, by TKL. If we keep on landing storms like that, maybe, guys. EMP by Salda is pretty good. 3 of the High Templars lost their energy, and the other one I don't think has enough energy. There is one more storm available. I don't know if Cell's still aware of the fact that he's got an army here. Cell is aware of it. Which Warcraft 3 players? Only Star is his name. I did send a message to Diesel, but apparently Diesel lives in the middle of nowhere. I think he became a farmer. Some Stara Zorgia city. People are like, that's actually kind of a big city, right? I was like, I've never heard of it, man. I only know Sofia, Burgas, and Varna, okay? If you don't live in any of those 3, you're a farmer in my eyes. So I sent him a message. I believe the other boys were in Sofia, but I didn't have time to meet them. As we have another storm. Oh my goodness, what is that forward blink? TKL, that must have been a misclick, guys. I think he tried to clear one more Liberator or one more Medevac. The 7 Stalkers just blinked forward into the meat grinder. Just when he had a few things kind of going his way. We've got a forward blink that even Patience would look at and say, no, I cannot justify this. I know I'm the man who always makes a forward blink, but even Patience would say it's better not to go for that one. And that is the end. But it was already kind of the end. TKL just, whenever you lose the 3rd base and you lose the probes, it's kind of over. Unless you have a miraculous comeback. Yeah, the game was over, but that did not help. Rough series, guys, for Mon Ami. And Cell is just on a rampage. What is this? 2-0? I feel like this is a flaw in the Matrix. Cell has never been up 2-0 against anyone in his entire life. What is happening? Even if Cell wins, it's supposed to be like bumping and bruising and kind of dramatic with some back and forth. All of a sudden, I'm just looking at a comfortable 2-0 lead for our pal Cell. I'm on my money back. This is not how an UpATree best of 5 is supposed to look, but kudos to Cell. He's playing well. But like for me, if I look at these games so far, it goes 2 ways. I think Cell is doing quite a few things correct, and especially like with the little drop attempts that he's going for, he's making all the correct choices. But TKL's openings in both Game 1 and Game 2 have just been disastrous. There is no other way to put it. And that's a bit rough to say, right? It's like, oh, is that kind of mean? But TKL's a good player. He's a 5k MMR Protoss. He watches a crap ton of StarCraft. And he has a good idea of how to play StarCraft. If you are supply blocked before your first Oracle and accidentally cancel your Nexus in Game 1, yeah, that's rough, right? Nobody, even at 4k, people would be very upset if that happens. And in Game 2, sending out 4 probes in 4 different angles, that is just never good. No matter what you're going to find, even if there is a pot of gold somewhere in the corner of altitude, you cannot send out 4 probes when you're 1-base Protoss. That's way too much. Let's see if we can clean up the opening and perhaps still have a competitive best of 5 between these two.
Round 3. Fight!
In the bottom right side, we are looking in the main base of the Frenchman. Let's just clean things up in the first 4 minutes, and then I do believe he still has a chance to make something out of this best of 5. Representing Altar, the French Passion Lord with a beautiful beard. Le TKL. What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay. So TKL scouts, Cell just is enjoying obviously the fact that every single thing he does, TKL seems to freak out. So Cell has, I think, a normal opening here, but he goes for the full wall of trying to scare his opponent. And that has been working wonders throughout this best of 5. And it kind of works again. TKL built a pylon, cancelled it immediately. But now in the end seems to think like, no, I should just expand. And you know what? This is correct. What TKL is doing now, guys, is completely fine. Let's chrono boost the probes one more time. I do feel that our Cybercore is freaking late, no? If this would have been a Reaper, wouldn't we have been in some trouble? I'm saying I am not in charge of what color they use. I know there are some tournaments where the rules are very strict on colors. I think they can kind of choose whatever color they want. The only thing that I wouldn't like is if we have PvP or ZVZ or TVT and they both have the exact same shade of color. Whereas like teal against light green is like, okay. Orange against yellow. It's like, well, guys, can we do something else? But yeah, the second game is the best example ever. If somebody would ever ask you, what do casters mean with somebody's overreacting? If you see TKL's reaction of what he scouted in game 2, that is the biggest overreaction that I think I've ever seen. And you are definitely correct, mate. Overreacting there is a whole lot worse than not scouting and having to react on the fly to something weird that's happening. You know you won't react properly anyway. I've lost plenty of games myself as well, guys, where because I scout, I see something and I get paranoid and I'm like, oh, maybe I should do X, Y, and Z, and then it all backfires. I'm like, damn it, if I would have not scouted, I would have been completely fine. But there's still a difference in like having a small misread or just kind of killing yourself. And TKL just kind of killed himself in that previous game. But here in game 3, guys, I absolutely love what I see out of the Frenchman. This is everything that we've been asking for, right? Just a good old regular 1-gate fast expand. If it's scary, it's scary. It is what it is. We'll keep an eye on it. But now he's actually going to find the Marine there, maybe? Well, he doesn't quite find his Marine yet. But this all looks very, very promising. By far and away, guys, the best start that TKO has had. And it's not even remotely close. It's not up for debate. Hello, Saver. Hope all of you guys had a great week so far, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying Piggy's tournament. I have not been able to watch everything. I was a bit of a Liquipedia fan while I was on the road. Kind of like how I've watched football as well. I often don't even watch all the games, but I follow all the scores closely. And in StarCraft I kind of enjoy that too. But I did open the stream a few times, and it seems that so far Pig has been blessed with quite a few bangers in this tourney. I saw Reynor try to play some Protoss again. I hope you're ready to root for Iowa tomorrow. Iowa is the potato state. I don't know why I would root for potatoes. TKL needs to obviously get units in position here, guys. There is a single Widowmine. One thing that I don't really love about the way that TKL plays is that he takes his 3rd and 4th gas so freaking early. Sell with the on burrow. TKL, can we get some units, please? Oh my goodness, sell with the 2nd on burrow, even though that one wasn't needed. I still love it. Our pal Cell, guys, he's vibing. He's now going to try to kill a Stalk from the low ground. Scans to kill the Observer, and he gets it too. You know you have Blink, by the way, TKL. You can just blink. It's almost like TKL is panicking a little bit. Like, I have watched TKL stream, guys, and I've seen him play. And this should not be hard. Like, you walk a Stalker in range, you blink it away. I mean, Cell did very good there. Obviously with the burrow, on burrow, retarget, even scanning and killing the obs. I still think TKL is in a good spot, by the way. And this is the only world where I'm okay with a quick 3rd and 4th gas if you drop the Robo Bay. Like, and then I don't hate it all that much. Yeah, it's almost like TKL blinked the Stalker on the high ground and then he just completely forgot that he could have blinked this one too. A Raven goes into the main, but even if an auto turret kills a couple of probes, if TKL can just kill that Raven, guys, then his Colossus are going to be amazing. Imagine not knowing the difference between potato states and corn states. But Idaho is the potato state, mate. Corn and beer? Iowa's corn? Really? I thought it was the potato state. I believe I am. What's the potato state then? Idaho. Yes. Okay, I'm an idiot, guys. Sorry. Yes. That's what I was thinking of all along. Because I was thinking in my head of the shape of the state. Yes, sorry. I was not thinking of Iowa. I was thinking of Idaho. I mean, come on. That's a human error. That happens, right? Yes, yes, yes. I'm sorry, guys. I get it now. I get it. I love the term flyover state. I've actually never heard that term until earlier this year, after I did a geography challenge with the guys from BASILISK. And I got 100% on all the American states, per usual. I do it in 1 minute and 16 seconds. I label every single state. And one of the members of BASILISK, I think, did it in like 2 minutes, but I had like 85%. I had 100. And they wrote those damn flyover states. And I was like, I guess I know what he means, but I've never heard that term before. Yeah, against Artosis, I made 1 mistake back then, but Artosis made way more mistakes. He made like 3 or 4. Yeah, I was a donkey. I blame it on all the German beer I had, okay, at Home Story Cup 20. I made a mistake. I labeled the state of New Orleans. Instead of Louisiana, I wrote New Orleans. One hell of a state, guys. I mean, to be fair, what else is there in that state? Yeah. Reynor with the raid. Oh, Reynor. Our pal Cell is crushing. I mean, obviously, right when you're tuning in, he's having his roughest game so far, but he's still doing somewhat alrighty. There is potential. I feel that Cell has taken a moment, and instead of trying to play faster than what he's capable of, I kind of feel like he has slowed his own game down overall, just by making the right decisions. And, well, he's got a pretty scary army here. TKL thinks that he's richer than God, so he's gonna go for Disruptors, Colossus, Storm, and Zealot Charge all at the same time. The auto turrets have been annoying. He's gonna bring his entire army back to deal with 2 auto turrets. Don't do that, mate. Your Stalkers were in the correct spot, TKL. No, what are we doing? I don't like this. There was absolutely no reason for all of these Stalkers to go back home. Mate, you... Reynor, you can stream for as many hours as you want, mate. Don't you worry. So is leading the charge with a couple of... Oh my goodness, he's gonna pull the boys. Oh my god, another forward blink. What is up with TK on his forward blinks? Just chill. Nova, not bad. High Templar all by itself, not doing anything. We could have landed a feedback there, guys. A feedback on that Raven would have been absolutely fantastic. We can still land another feedback. I don't know about the SCV pool into the Colossus, but let's sell cook. This is it, guys. Can still go either way. We can sacrifice the base. I don't even hate that call. I think it's alright. You wipe in a few more units. You got 5 more gateways. Just make sure you're not going to get supply blocked, amigo. You do want to defend out a little bit. We want to land the feedback, guys. On the side of TKL, the man who's down 0-2, so I'm rooting for him a little bit here. He wants to land a feedback on the Raven. Can we land one? No, we fire a Nova. Not a bad Nova. 3 Marauders. That's alright. Sal's now wondering what he should do. Should he go home because he's happy? Please feedback the Raven. He does it, guys. He lands the feedback. Sal's going to go forward. TKL's going to try to kite a little. Do we have a battery? Yes. One Colossus is going to die, but the other one will stay safe. One Archon is all by itself, and that Archon is going to die. Oh, that's a gnarly tank position, though. That's a gnarly tank position. You know what would be sick? TKL warping in 5 Zealots over here on the right. I hope that TKL can stay calm, cool, composed, because he uses overcharge there in the main to deal with the other turrets. Don't know if I love that call. Like, if he warps in a couple Zealots, guys, of this pile, then that's a brilliant call. Zell's now going to build a city of bunkers on the low ground of TKL. TKL, mate, all you want to do is warp in 5 Zealots over here from the right, get on top of the tanks, and then you aim move. He fires another Nova, only gets a single Marine. He's going to need to do a little bit better than that. Goes forward, has one more Disruptor. That's a slightly better one. TKL, amigo, you've got a dream pylon right here, mate. An absolute dream pylon. He is warping in Zealots and High Templars on the left. That's kind of cool. Lands a little feedback there, too. He's got Storm. But this is not so much about Storm. It's a lot more on getting on top of tanks. I don't know about this one. That Disruptor will never go off. Oh, TKL, that Nova, no, is a pretty decent one. Gets a lot of the SCVs. He's down 40 army supply. But he's got a chance, please. 3 Zealots! You don't even need 5 Zealots. What are we doing? We're recalling. What? Well, okay, sure. We're gonna do whatever we can to keep that bottom left Nexus safe. Couple Zealots coming in from the natural. First bunker falls. Second bunker should burn down. Liberators by themselves. Nice army movement here. Come on, kill it with your Stalker. Kill it, please. Kill it. TKO, you're so close. Kill the Raven. Okay, that's nice of Cell. Cell's a good dude like that. I like ourselves now. See, come on, kill that lip. TKL, for the love of everything, kill that freaking lip. He's almost has it, but he's still down a lot of army supply. Kill the lip. Kill the lip and go back. Go back! Don't run into the tanks. Okay, once a Nova, doesn't really connect with anything. Lands another one! No! What? Oh my goodness, so is Clem!
Good Clem.
I can't believe it! We are not allowed to bully Cell anymore for the rest of our lives. That was amazing. Not even Clem would have pulled it off. And just like that, it is Cell who wins the best of 5. 3-0. Oh my, that was actually one hell of a split. I mean, come on. I know, we give him shit, guys. We bully him. But to do it like this, I don't think he even had vision of it. He sees the Nova, he's just like, plop! Oh my, so sexy. Oh, it's a shame for TKL though, guys. Obviously, we don't love 3-0s on the Friday night. It is what it is. Thank you so much, Basilisk, for giving us 10 subbies for our first best of 5 of the night. If TKL, guys, warped in 3-4 zealots of this pylon, they would have came in, they get on top of the tanks, like from time to time. Cell's entire army was here. Like, this game actually looks so decent for TKL. Even if he's down in army supply, like after killing these 2 Liberators. Obviously, we derped a little bit there, but we have 56 probes. We have +1 against 22 SCVs. And all that's really scary are these tanks. Just a few zealots would have been so nice. And we've got 9 freaking gateways. But I guess there is serious oversaturation happening. So the 56 probes is a bit deceiving. Like, TKL used a recall on his army. And I think that was a bit of a weird recall. I think it was totally necessary. And if he wanted to recall, I think that's okay. But what he should have done is actually grab a bunch of these probes as well. Like, the recall, I don't think was really necessary, but if he really wants to save this Nexus, it's okay. But then he needed to recall a whole bunch of probes with it. As you guys can see, Le Cuckoo is excited. Can't find Hydra. I'll find him for you. Alright, guys. GG's. Congrats to Cell, who now has 2 wins on the Friday night. And I gotta say, he looked good. Especially, I think, in the first 2 games, he looked good. TKL. I think there are a couple of things that he can easily fix. And this is actually something that I would love to see one day again. Because I believe with 1 or 2 minor changes in the early game, TKL can get himself in much better spots. And then the games become a lot more playable. And perhaps he could have ran away with it. But we're happy for Sal. He gets $60. TKL still gets 15. So not bad for losing trio. 61% of you guys believed in Cell, with the absolute highlight being that final split. Cell became Clem for 0.1 second. That is probably the longest he will ever be Clem. But complete prediction. Second best of 5 will be an old versus Neil Team Roddy member, guys. Hydra versus a Cuckoo. Team Roddy. Hydra versus Red Pack Cuckoo. 6k MMR. So there's a lot of MMR already. I mean, 6k is a little generous. Maybe it's more like 5.8k. You know, otherwise people get upset. I ain't got 6k. But honestly, Cuckoo has been 6.1. Hydra has been above 6k. So 5.8, 6k. But let's go with 5.8 then. We've got a Team Roddy. Hydra. A Dutch Protoss player. Versus the man who was on Team Roddy for quite some time and is now very happy with his Romanian orc. Team Redpack's Cuckoo. I'll give you guys... Oh, we can do 15 minutes. It's okay. So we're going to take a little break. Cuckoo has been 6-2, but okay. Yeah, no, I believe that actually, Cuckoo. I saw it. But then unfortunately, you got the old man on the ladder a couple of times, right? And those things, minus 33, minus 35, minus 31, minus 37. It adds up, guys. So Cuckoo was 6-2. Ran into Roddy a couple times. 5-8 now, but we're still proud of him. Peter the Eater says, I keep double Stargate carrier rushing PVX and my win rate is only 35%. Any tips to improve? I need to see your games to say, but I don't love that build. It's not a bad build. If your plan is just get a couple carriers, force out a reaction, get 3 bases, it's not bad. But if you just keep on spamming carriers out of 2 Stargates and you've got nothing else, yeah, that's not really the right way to play. So, hello, Jumi. Yes, that was one of them. But Yumi, after that, mate, whew, Cuckoo jinxed himself. Cuckoo lost a game on Neo Humanity against Roddy. And Cuckoo said, can't believe it, I lost to the old man. The last time I lost against the old man, I was 10. Cuckoo is 19 right now, or however old he is. But after that game, he played the old man 4 more times, and he lost all 4. I believe the last time Cuckoo beat the old man, he was 10. I believe that's what he tried to say. Anyway, guys, we're going to take a little break. I'll grab myself a drink. I don't know what I'm going to get yet, but something nice that gets us in the mood. We're going to have another PvT. This one should be very different than the previous one. Obviously, Serral and TKL around 5k. These guys around 6k. So it will be fun to see the difference in gameplay and pacing. Be right back. A couple minutes. See you guys soon. Friday night video gaming's brought to you by BASILISK.